Yeah, it's a nice plot of land. You like it?
Yeah, I'm liking it a lot. I think of picking it up for my new amphitheater and camping ground that I want to make.
Oh, wow, yeah, yeah. I just have a couple questions I could ask you about that.
Yeah, sure, man. Fire away.
Alright, let's see. How are you gonna maintain the vast wildlife here? How are you gonna keep it from dying out?
We see that there is a bit of a problem, especially with like all the trees that I'm gonna have to cut down at first. However, all the wood is going to be reused, so don't worry about any of that. We'll use it during the building of our amphitheater. Also, we're going to be encouraging a very strict nature conservation policy, as well as hiring tons of janitors to help clean up the litter, make sure that nothing's going to be happening. We're not going to be using any very polluting materials such as formaldehydes or CFCs. When building our stuff, we're going to be using strictly recycled plastic, concrete, and just other natural resources like that to make sure that keystone species such as like the beaver don't get affected. We're going to be creating kind of like a neighborhood watch system, for instance, where if you see something bad happening to them or think one is sick, we're going to give them a number to report it to, as well as we're going to be encouraging them to keep them away, or
Nice.
keep the residents away from the beavers, that is.
Yeah, nice, nice. All right, I have a couple more. How are you going to change the impact that all of your building chemicals have on the lower level species?
Definitely. That's something big that we had to think about for quite a while. So we came across a really interesting point. First, what we decided to do, we're gonna have to get a little bit of energy from Duke Energy, which does use fossil fuels, which is a little sad, but the rest of our energy is going to be coming from solar panels that are on top of the overhang that the bands will be playing under in the amphitheater, as well as a brand new state-of-the-art technology for people that are in the pit who are listening to the musicians play while they're stomping around and creating movement. There are now panels that you can place on floors. They've recently started using this in places like New York City that capture the energy from those footsteps and convert them into usable energy for all electronic systems.
Wow, that's really neat. That's really neat. Let's see. How do you think that invasive species are going to affect this build?
Oh, that's a really tough question. Invasive species are already such a problem in North Carolina. You got like species such as the yellow honeysuckle and other species such as kudzu, which I'm pretty sure you can see all around here. But really what's going to be going on and what we're going to be doing to help encourage a cut down of that is we're going to be giving them numbers, such as like with the little like neighborhood watch program that we have going on for the beavers. We're also going to be listing that for invasive species. We actually do have a program in North Carolina where you can report any invasive species that you see and they will immediately help take care of it. While it's important to not cut them all out at once so that you don't like destroy the surrounding ecosystem, it is good to wean off them so that our keystone and native species can stay consistent.
Yeah, awesome. What do you think, like, the contribution is of all of the other keystone species like beavers that would have this land if you were to get rid of them?
Well, if you were to get rid of beavers, that's going to create like a sort of like a chain effect. When you get rid of the dams that the beavers have, then you get rid of that ecosystem that they've already created. Whenever a beaver like creates a dam, they create a small little ecosystem of their own, especially for marine life. Taking that out would not only destroy those marine life, but then the predators that feed on the marine life in that new ecosystem created by the beavers would be completely destroyed. That's why it's important to keep them around.
Yeah. And how will you change the effect of people hunting and exploiting the species in this area?
Like I said before, we're going to have a very, very, very strict no hunting policy and no animal killing policy. We will allow fishing, however, in moderation. And what you catch, you eat. You're not allowed to throw back. That's our first point for that, especially for the camping grounds. In terms of for the actual amphitheater itself, we're going to be hire 24/7 janitorial staff to be able to keep up with that after concerts. Don't need to employ them for too long. But also creating a small little reward system for turning in your litter and your recycling and your trash. And as well as hoping that everybody will have the consideracy to not litter and overfeed certain species, as well as bringing new species in because of all the garbage. Especially a strict no feeding the animals policy.
Yeah. Well, you sound like a pretty good landowner.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much, sir. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure doing business with you.